Pop-ups, they always show up at the worst possible time, isn't it? But in Selenium, we need to handle them like pros, right? So in this video, we are going to dive into the alerts, confirm, and prompts, those tiny boxes that break your automation flow if you don't handle them correctly. So in the end of this video, you will know exactly how to read, accept, dismiss, send some input to the alert boxes. Okay. Thumb rule of handling alerts and pop-ups, whatever you name it. So basically alert classes is you have to remember three fundamental actions. They are accept, dismiss, and send keys. These are the primary operations you'll perform on it. And the fundamental thing to do before this is you have to switch the driver context to the alert. Okay. 4 keywords you need to remember. You need to remember driver.switch to, then accept or dismiss, or you are going to send some keys there and say okay. Fine. Then to practice this, again, we have to come on the same page that I had shown you earlier. So this is the page we have here. Come to the third tab. I've created 3 different type of pop-ups here. First one is very simple, straightforward. Just an alert. You have to come here, click OK. Second one is show confirm. So you can either confirm or cancel. If you cancel, it shows you another pop-up say cancelled. If you confirm, it will say confirmed. Okay. The third one is yet something different. So you are going to write something here. Okay, I'll just write some random text. If I click OK, it will show me you entered this text. Okay, and in the same prompt, if I just say cancel, it will show me null. So we are going to handle these 3 kind of pop-ups and perform all these actions on it. And we'll also see how to handle it like pro in a normal test environment where you don't want an exception to be thrown whether a pop-up has appeared or not. Okay. So going to the first example, this is very elementary what we are doing here. I'm just coming on my page and I am going to find a a button which has a text show alert, right? So if you go to my application, show alert, show confirm, show prompt, 3 buttons are there. I'm just searching for it. If you are just looking for the first time, how you are going to locate it? You are going to right click, inspect, and from here you can either copy the XPath or whatever, but this is a more organized way or more sophisticated way of finding those buttons with the actual text that is displayed on the UI, right? Let me copy this first and I'll show you if this works or not. So you have to come here, do a Control F and paste the XPath. Hold on. Paste the XPath. I didn't copy it, so I'm copying it now, and you are going to paste the XPath here. So it will highlight the respective button or respective web element. So it says 1 of 1 here. That means this is a unique and this XPath should work, right? Now going back to my PyCharm. So all those 3 I am trying to search using the XPath, and then I am using something called isDisplayed method to verify whether those buttons are displayed on my UI or not, right? Now the next thing that we want to do here is whether I'm going to handle my alert in a way or I'm going to click on my alert saying accepted or rejected, whatever. So I'm going to use the simple text box, simple alert. So this is show alert. This is a simple alert, and I'm going to click on OK, plain and simple, right? How to do that? So this is my alert button that I'm going to use. So it's again same thing. Let me comment this part. We haven't executed. I'll keep it for the execution. So I'll come here. I'll say driver.find element by XPath, same XPath, and we'll say alert button dot click. Okay. So I'm clicking on the button that is on the web page on this part. So this will open this alert. Now, how do I handle this alert? So to do that, we'll have to say driver.switch to alert. Okay. So this is a keyword. If you are new here, by heart this, you are going to use this. This will never change. Okay. This is going to still be the same whether you are seeing any type of alert. Okay. So you just have to say driver.switch to .alert. Okay. And then I'm just printing a message that switched to alert successfully, and I'm saying alert.accept. This is also going to be the same always. Remember, these are keywords you need to remember when handling alerts. So driver.switch to alert and alert.accept. Alert is nothing but this alert, whatever variable I'm storing the driver context. Okay, let's run this. So it opens the page and clicks there. It's quite fast. Let me add sleep here. So I'll say time.sleep and I'll say wait for 3 seconds. Okay, after it clicks on it, run this. Okay, so it clicked on that. Now it will click on OK. Done. Clear. Let me close this. So what we did here, we clicked on the alert button. Alert was generated. We accepted the alert. And if you see here in my logs or in my terminal here, so it says alert button found true, confirm button found true, prompt button found true, switch to alert successfully, which is printed from here. Clear? Moving on to the next one. Here we are going to accept a prompt. Okay. So here we are going to click on the second button on my UI. So it's going to be show confirm, and then I'll click on OK and get this text whatever is displayed here. Right? How we are going to do it? So ignore this first one. This is just the repeated code. Right? We are not going to execute it, but we are just going to click on the second one. So I'm clicking on the show confirm button. Then I give driver.switch to alert because it will create an alert. I'll accept it. And when I accept it, it is going to display some text right here. If you see here, show confirm. If I accept it, it is showing me confirmed. So I'm getting this text from this alert to my Selenium or to my PyCharm. Right? So how do we do that? So to do that, we have this keyword alert.text. So first time we come here, we click on the button, it generates an alert. We switch the context to an alert. We accept the alert and printing that we choose OK. Now the second alert is generated, which has a text called confirm. So I am again switching my context to that alert. From this alert, I am getting the text, whatever is displayed there. And then I am again accepting this alert, right? So to view this in a systematic way, I will have to again add some weight here, right? So after I click here, this is my alert which is generated. I'll again say time.sleep and I'll say sleep for 2 seconds. Again, I change my context here. So before accepting the alert, I'm again going to say time.sleep and 2 seconds. Let's run this. Okay, first it clicked, confirm. Okay, done. Now if we see in my console, it says prompt box accepted, choose OK, and confirm box message, it says confirmed, right? So this is how you are going to pull back the text, whatever is displayed in your alert, right? So till now we had seen 3 keywords. First is switch to alert, second is alert.accept, third one is alert.text. So remember, we have seen 3 keywords until now. Now moving on to the next one. All right. So we have how do we dismiss a text box, right? So in the same example, if we click on show confirm, we have a cancel as well. So how do we click on cancel and again get the text of it? So we are going to use something called as alert.dismiss, right? So if you see here, it's the same thing that we have done. First is click on the button, then driver.switch to alert. I'm using a time.sleep of 2 seconds and dismissing the alert. And I'm printing confirm dismissed, chose cancel. Now after this, I need the alert text as well, whatever is displayed on it. So I'm getting that using alert.text, the same thing. Just this is a new command that we are using or a new method, alert.dismiss. This is the 4th one. Okay. Now let's run this. So it opens up, clicks on the button, cancel. It says cancelled. Okay. Now this execution is done. If we hit back to our PyCharm, it says confirm box dismissed, chose cancelled, confirm box message, it says cancelled. Cancelled was displayed there. Straightforward, nothing fancy. Whatever we had seen in the earlier example, the same thing, just one keyword was different. That was alert.dismiss. Right? Now the next one is how do you send keys to a particular pop-up or to a particular alert. So if you see the third one, which I had shown, so you write something here and hit OK. It says you entered whatever you have entered. Okay. So how we are going to do this approach would be still the same. You are going to highlight or you are going to identify the button, click on it. You are going to switch the context of your alert to the alert. So driver.switch to alert. then you are going to write alert.send keys. So this is the fifth method here. So alert.send keys, and then you are going to wait for 2 seconds. Then you are setting alert.accept. That means you are pressing OK on that button, right? As soon as you click on it, there is another alert generated, right? So you see here, show prompt. You see here. Okay, so I had a glitch. So we were talking about, yeah. So in the advanced in show prompt, yeah. So if you enter something here, click on OK. This is what you are getting. This is the message that you are getting, right? So on the PyCharm as well, you are going to again say alert send keys. This is the whatever input text we are providing to an alert. So we are saying Selenium test input, waiting for 2 seconds, then we are accepting the alert, right? Now, if you see here, I'm not switching the context again, right? Because I'm still pointing to the same alert. So I'm not switching to the, to the alert again, right? Now, this is one scenario which I have designed in such a way where I don't have to switch my context to the next alert. Instead, I'm handling this alert using the same alert.accept without again switching the context, okay? But this will work throughout. You don't have to worry. Even if there is a separate alert, this will also work. But what I wanted to point here is you can also use this inside try and accept, where you can switch the context or kind of create a recovery scenario or kind of create a scenario where you are expecting an alert to be generated, right? But you don't know where it will be generated. So as soon as you find an exception where you encounter, say, element not interactable, something or some sort of exception on those lines. So what you are going to say, you are going to run your recovery scenario to see whether an alert is present or not. So how you are going to do it? So you are going to use a try and accept block. In the alert, you are just going to switch the context to alert, and you are going to pull down the alert text, and you are going to accept it anyways, right? If there are no alert present, then that's fine, right? So in this scenario, I'm not expecting any alert to be present, right? But let's run this, and I'll change the context by introducing one more alert, okay? So in that scenario, so it entered. I think this is done. Yes, this is done. So let's validate. So text sent to prompt and accepted. This one is printed. Prompt text box. Message, whatever we have entered, we had entered Selenium text input. So tell Selenium you entered Selenium text input is returned. And in the exception, it says no alert present. This is expected, right? Now, what if I introduce the initial, say, the alert button, whatever we had? So we were seeing an alert here, right? So let me add this alert here. And what happens is this would trigger an alert. But this time, since I have a try and catch block or try and accept block, it's going to trigger on the try block and handle the alert using this exception block, okay? So even though the alert comes up, it's going to handle it on its own, right? So what it says, alert found with text, and the text was, this is simple alert, okay? So this is one way you can handle your alerts. Even if, say, you are not sure whether this alert would appear or not. But if it appears, it will break your execution. So the best thing to do is add it in your try block. So if it appears, it will handle it. If it doesn't appear, it will continue with the flow, right? Moving on. So the next example, what we are going to do is we are just going to change the execution flow. Okay, so instead of just accepting and validating whatever is displayed, we are first going to validate whether this is the exact alert that we are going to click on, or it is not the exact alert that we are expecting. All right. So in the first button, if I click, the text displayed in this alert is, this is a simple alert. So I need to verify whether it is a simple alert or not. Only then I will click on it. So how do I do that? So first thing first, click on the button, alert is generated, switch the context to the alert and get the text of alert. And this is another method. If you have followed me since starting, you would know why this lower is used here. But for the ones who are new here, lower is nothing but to convert the text or the alert text into lower format. Okay, in lower case actually. And what we are doing, we are comparing if simple alert is present in the alert text that is generated. Okay. So what we are going to do then, if it is present, then we are going to say, or we are going to accept the alert, print a successful message. If it is not the same alert, we are going to dismiss it. Okay. Or the third case here is, if there are no alert present, then this exception is triggered. So in this, we are going to handle this exception and we are going to say this has failed because there was no alert present or we could not switch to the alert. Right. So let me copy this example and I'll do 3 versions of it. Right. One would be where the alert text is not found, and the last one would be where there is no alert itself. Okay. So I am not going to use this here. So there is no alert here. For this one, let me change the text. Okay. So the first one is the happy path. It's going to complete the execution without any failure. The second one, it won't find this. So it's going to print the unexpected alert text. And the third one is where it will print the exception. Okay. Let's run this. Done. So let's watch what happened. So in my first execution block here, what we did, this was a happy path. This was not supposed to fail anywhere. So it should print me simple alert handled. So if you see here, it says simple alert handled. Now in the next one, what we did, we changed the validation text. So this text was not found. So it would have printed this else message. What it printed unexpected alert text. This is simple alert, whatever text it got from the pop-up or the alert, right? And in the third one, there was no alert generated because I didn't click on the button. Instead, I was just trying to switch the context. So this also didn't work. So it printed failed to switch to alert, right? Clear? So in your test execution, you are always going to validate whatever is displayed on your alert whenever it is generated, whether it is expected or unexpected, or you are going to handle it using your try else, try except block. So good approach is to always validate whatever you are clicking. Don't just blindly switch your context and click on the alert. Even if you are doing that, pull down that value from the application to your logs or anywhere you want to dump, right? So it's very important for your backlogging or for back tracing whatever you have done in your execution, to dump most of or all of the values or all of the interaction that you are doing, dump it in a file, right? But again, it also depends on the nature of your application. If you are dealing with a very light scaled application, which is just going to be used as a UI to the audience, I suggest you don't have to do a more detailed or granular level testing. But if you are dealing with some application which has a lot of kind of security in it, if you are working on internet banking application for a bank, you have to have all the details logged in your test. Okay. So whatever steps you are performing should be clearly logged in your logs, so that if anyone checks that, they have a context of what you have done in your testing, right? So this is also a way how you can handle the pop-ups or the alerts. So what happens in the usual application is, my application is like hosted by me and I'm the only one doing it. So there's not much load on it, right? But as and when the load increases, the performance of the website goes down. So during those time, what happens is your alert, or say if you have entered something in the field and that is not expected to be the value, and you are expected to see an alert saying that, hey, you have entered something wrong here. Now this alert or this validation is happening on the server side, okay, on the runtime, but on the server side. So as soon as you enter something, it goes to the server, validates that, and comes back with an error message or with a success message. So this transaction that happened, right, this message that went to the server and came back, will take some time. Right? So say you have just entered and you have moved on to the next field to enter the next field, right? So what happens by then, when you do it manually, you can go back, click on OK and continue the flow. But when you are using automation script, you need to have that awareness that I'm going to see an alert message if I'm doing something wrong, right? So how do you wait for that alert message, or how do you wait for that server response to be fed to your clients or to the actual application? So to do that, we have this command. If this is again, EC is nothing but expected conditions we had seen earlier, element to be clickable, or a few more we had seen in the previous one, right? So those visibility of selected element, those things we had seen in the previous one. So here, this is a new keyword. So EC dot or expected condition dot alert is present. Now, how do you use it? WebDriver wait. You have a driver instance present here. You need to wait for a maximum of 5 seconds, and you have to wait until this condition is met. That means a alert should be present, right? So if an alert is present, it moves to the next line and switches the context, again validates whether what this is the correct alert message or this is the correct alert box that has appeared based on whatever the values or whatever is the workflow you are going to either accept or dismiss. So I'm currently dismissing it, right? And same thing I have used here. Like earlier here we were handling no alert present exception. Here we are also handling timeout exception. Say within 5 minutes or 5 seconds, the pop-up didn't appear. So what happens? So again, I'll make a copy of it, right? And I'll paste it here. So this is to validate when the pop-up is not present, what happens, right? Let's run this. There is some, okay, indentation error. Okay, let's run this. This is done. Now if I go here, hold on. What did it do here? Okay, so for the first one clicked perfectly fine. Alert.dismiss, it clicked here and it printed confirm box dismissed. This execution ended here. Now I am again trying to find this, whether this particular WebDriver is present or not. So it should have given me an exception, isn't it? But why didn't it give any exception? Oh, I was just debugging it. The problem is I have used this confirm and this confirm shows a pop-up twice, right? So what happens the first time this is handled and in the second one, the second pop-up is handled. So to overcome this, what I need to do is I need to just say alert.accept again. Okay. And hold on 1 second. Let me switch the context as well. So this should work now. Let's run this. Let's see what happened. So it's still waiting. And now you see. So it says alert did not appear within the timeout. So it waited for 5 seconds, couldn't find an alert. So this exception was thrown. So we had seen 3 different type of pop-ups that we can expect and 3 different methods, or actually 4 different methods that you have to do, remember when dealing with alerts. So accept, dismiss, send keys, and you have to remember driver.switch to. Okay, switch to alert. Sorry. Then you also used .text property to pull the text property of a particular alert. We had seen how to handle the exception, whether it is timeout exception or no element present exception. We had seen how to use expected conditions to wait for an alert to appear. So that's all what I wanted to talk on alerts. And since we have started with alert, the next one would definitely be on iframes and nested frames. How do you switch your context to iframes? Because once you try to click something which is inside an iframe, it is going to fail if you are not going to switch the context. So we'll take that up in the next one. Thanks for joining, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.